Hey, what's going on, YouTubers? I've been asked to do a workshop tour for a couple of people. So that's what we're going to do in this video. I'm going to take you around my workbench and hobby room. This is probably going to be a pretty long video, so watch at your own discretion. Over here we have my computer and desk and all the supplies that go with that, and the printer over there. So that's in the same room but kind of separate, although I do use the computer for researching and making decals, printing decals, blah blah blah. Actually I'll get to that area a bit later. There's the main workbench. I have a little trolley on the side with some various things, and another trolley here with some various stuff as well. We'll basically start from this end. Let me get this thing out of the way. Here, well, as you can see, there's a lot of folders. Some of them are research, some of them are just things that I've printed out and kept as reference and whatnot. As you can see right there, I have my Dremel motor saw, which is like a scroll saw that also removes and can be used as a motorized coping saw, which is pretty cool. Here, as you can see, there's a whole lot of Titanic folders. That is a parts work series that is not finished yet. I've started, I think, 2002, something like that, and I'll show you that in a minute. But yeah, that was, like I said, it's a part work, so that's all the folders that go with it, and you get a couple of, well, not a couple, but you get a few parts every week, and that's that. The next one is the Lord of the Rings, which was another part work series, which I'm nowhere near finishing those, but they're like the wargaming, like Warhammer 40k, something like that. I'll just show you roughly. The good thing about these, actually this is what got me back into the hobby, starting to paint these things. But the good thing about these is they have, write-ups on how to paint the figures, for example, and then you'll have a section in here that's how to do diorama pieces. So each magazine, comes with that. So you've got your rules and stuff for the game, which I didn't really play anyway, but that's that. I have all the instructions from the kits in here, and I think in that one. This folder here is articles that I've scanned and printed from Scale Auto magazine, for example. So I keep the magazine separate and print out articles that I like. Most of these folders up here are just business related stuff, so they've got nothing to do with the hobby. Over here I've got the decals, extra decals that I've got. I'll put in those. There's Dr. Cranky's book. Up the top here we have a few kits that they'll be coming up. This one here I'll probably be doing for the box stock build. This one I'm probably due for a 48-hour build or something. These two are veterans build or something along the line. This one here is going to be a zombie hunter, which I've started doing but haven't touched it for a while. I'll show you. There's a drawing I did over there, which is my idea for it. And then just some cases that I found cheap, so I picked them up. So that's that section. This box here, I've got a resin Terminator arm in there, which I think it's 1:1 scale, so that's pretty cool. Then, sorry for the shaky cam, I have this little trolley here at my side, which has various bits and pieces in there. My glasses, bicarb soda, sanding sticks are all, a little brush, a lighter, sandpaper, toothbrush, some flap brushes there, tweezers, blades, my Dremel bits, whatever. I have some tapes, the Tamiya weathering products in there, various glues, the miter saw, some more Dremel bits, toothpicks. In this one we have some flocking, just a whole bunch of wire, I guess, and paper clips or whatever that are used for detailing. This one we've got some pastels, some craft paints, some putty, my glue gun, glue sticks, this little plank bending tool which basically goes for wooden planks for model ships, so you can crimp the timber and sort of bend it. This is just a hodgepodge of junk, some extra sprue parts, bits and pieces, offcuts, string, some blades, cotton swabs, old paint jars. This one's basically all sandpaper, and some bamboo sticks for mounting parts and stuff. And this drawer is just basically all felt for like carpet or headliners or something like that. And there's a bit of tape there too. I know I'm going through this pretty quickly, but like I said, this is going to be a long video as it is. I don't want to drain it. I've got my laptop there, which I use primarily for hanging out, Google+. There's my squeaky light, which I've had for many years. I guess it needs some greasing or something. It also has a magnifier built in, but to be honest, I never really used that. I thought I would use it for figure painting, but I mean, I find it difficult when you've got one glass, you're trying to look through it with two eyes, and you lose your depth perception. I prefer to use the visors. Over in the corner here we have the Dremel tool on its little hook with the drill press accessory, which is basically what I use it for, and it has the hose on it. I also have the battery powered one, which is just there, which I'll probably use that more. I bought that one first as well, but this is good for sort of more heavy duty jobs. Okay, as you can see, there's my paint rack, which is getting too small now. I'm going to have to enlarge it or separate the paints out. I have a little container here of toothpicks, two glass jars of water, one for metallics, one for non-metallics. It's good to keep them separate, otherwise you, if you've got metallic on your brush and you go to clean it, you go to clean it, then you get another colour which is not metallic. You put your brush in there and you end up tainting everything. What else we got? Just a little crappy little tin here which I use for glues and stuff, just to dab them on there. Yeah, the usual Tamiya suspects: panel line accent, surface primer. I use Mr. Base White. This is good stuff for to use as a primer. It's really good stuff. I use mostly automotive primer, but there was a time when I'd run out and I needed something, and I used this. And let me tell you, this stuff it bonds really good. And I had tried to remove it with the greaser and stuff, and it would not come off. It took everything else off, but left it on the plastic. It really bonds good to it, and it's smooth. I'm not sure how this is a Mr. Base White, but there's a Mr. Surface Primer, I think it is. I'm not sure exactly how that works, but I mean, like I said, this works pretty good as a white primer. In here is just a Tamiya jar that I've kept. I always keep the empty Tamiya jars for my acrylic paints and any colour I mix up. And this one's got some putty in it. Saves me opening up the big tin, so I just put it in here so that this dries out before the big tin dries out, basically. There you've got Tamiya glues. This little bottle here has got some lacquer thinner in it, just to clean out some brushes if I ever use it. Then we've got some Alclad, what is it, the gloss black and the chrome, which I'm just just got basically, I think a month ago. It's the first time I've been using it, and sort of just playing with it at the moment. I haven't really used it on any projects. I also got this stuff. This is the clear coat mat, which needs to be shaken up a lot because you can see all the white stuff in there. This works really good. It's I think very similar to the Tester's dull coat, so I like that. Starting to use that on the figures now. Yeah, as I said, there's all the Tamiya stuff, the paints that I use. These are like the main colours that I use. Usually, what have we got? This whole line here is probably just the main colours that I use, or maybe, sorry, that and that, the two middle lines. They're the ones I just keep replacing all the time. The other ones would be here and there. These are the old Games Workshop Citadel paints, which I use them for figures, and most of those are starting to dry up now. So I've thrown a few of them away. These are the new bottles that they have now. This is great paint, but it's expensive, so kind of thinking I'm not going to be buying them anymore. But anyway, what else we got here? Some of the Mr. Mark set and Mr. Mark Softer. That's really good stuff. I have the Micro Set and Micro Sol also, but I find the Mark Setter and Mark Softer, that's a little bit less potent, I guess. It doesn't attack the decals as much, especially like for Tamiya, because they're a bit thinner. You use Micro Set or Micro Sol on those, you've got to be very, very careful. What else? A whole bunch of brushes and markers and stuff there, little scissors, tweezers, files, the Novus system, some epoxy putty, super glue, cutters. I've got 2 jars of brushes. One's like sort of the decent ones, and the other ones are sort of rubbish for dry brushing and glues or whatever. There's a few sanding sticks there too. Yikes, this is a long video. Let's have a look. Go to the other side over here a bit. Like I said, I've got the Dremel tool there. I have this little box here that I keep my drill bits in, and some blades and stuff. The little handy helpers, extra hands, whatever they are, helping hands. Like I said, I've got the Dremel tool there, which I've mentioned I think 3 times now. Over there is just some sticks that I use to mount parts on, the chopsticks, and some containers there that you use to mix paints. There's some tin foil, like, I don't know, custard tart sort of containers here, which again to use to mix up washes and stuff. There's some chalk there, pastel chalk, sorry. There's the face painting set from Vallejo. Some more potions over there. I got the spray booth. So there's some mixed up paints that I've got, like in the old Tamiya jars. Like I said, it's good to keep them. I've got my airbrushes there, and my, what do you call it, airbrush medium, and some Windex, the Tamiya thinner there. What's this one? Airbrush medium. I've got my primer here, which I mix up outside and then, well, out in the shed. Which, if you've seen my introductory videos, I've shown all this before, but sort of quickly, and it's changed a bit. But the outside shed spray booth is the same, and that's got gun wash in it, which is good for cleaning out the airbrushes. Then here we have the compressor, and this little trolley is just some bits and pieces. Get this out of the way. Yeah, just got the markers of knives and pliers, cutters, tapes, whatever. Just things on the side that don't clutter up the workbench. Basically, just throw them in there. And sometimes I leave my instructions here too. This is a little book that I use for all my projects, little journals, you could say, I guess. If I point at it, maybe you'll be able to see it. And I just write down if I mix any colours, which I'm sure most guys do anyway, but all my ideas and stuff go in there. Little container thing of the micro brushes. Got some clamps there, a box of clamps. The Dremel vise, which comes in handy. So I just sort of transfer it to the other side of the desk when I need to use it. We just swing over here. I've got, this is probably the messiest section. I haven't cleaned these up yet, and it won't focus now. Come on. There we go. Just a basket of leftover parts from kits that I just throw in there, and I need to organise. Some craft acrylics, as you can see there. This little box here is my secret box of engine wiring and stuff. They'll just keep all in one sort of area. Got some more sort of cotton swabs here, some lids for mixing paint, whatever. Styrene rod. I've got some aluminium tape there. This one I just have a whole bunch of spoons that I've painted colours that I got, which seem to be stuck at the moment. Yeah, I'll just write down on the back what it is for reference. When I need to look for colours, just look through that. What's in here? I don't even know myself. So just some bits and pieces, sponges and whatnot, mesh. This one, there's some double-sided tape. Got some adhesive in there. There's my visors, my nerdy visors. Some more tape there. A couple more empty journals. So I keep all my sandpaper. What I usually do is take some envelopes. As you can see, I've got here wet dry 2000, and I just cut them up in squares ready. And here I've got superfluous paints, ones that I've ordered too much. So once the other ones run out, and transfer them over. I've got some photo etch details in here, a bit of aluminium tubing, some brass tubing, some decals which need to be transferred into the other booklet that I've got, and all this stuff's going to fall, and some styrene sheet in here in bits and pieces. Alright, what are we up to? This section here. Okay, we've got just a toolbox of extra tools that I don't really use on a regular basis. Here we have all my sort of electronic LEDs, capacitors, stuff like that, just a mishmash of all different parts and stuff. Same with this, it's just got LEDs and switches and whatever in there. In here I have a lot of engine parts, so extra parts from the kits, like you might have valve covers or air cleaners, whatever. That's what all that section is over there. It needs to be put away, need to be organised in these containers. And basically in this one is rims and tyres from extra kits, like extra parts from the kits. These are all extra parts from the kits basically, whatever they are. I can't even remember, maybe exhausts or something like that. And then you've got the bigger parts, which might be seats or convertible tops, whatever. I think that's it. And if you go underneath the desk, I have a few of my kits here that I'm thinking of working on next, which is, like I said, it's very messy at the moment. Got my RC card over there, my Dremel box, drill, and that's about it. And yeah, that's my workbench. At the moment you can see the Camaro that I'm working on. Up the top shelf here I have I've put the boxes that I'm working on at the moment, which is the F-150 and the Camaro. There's a figure that I'm painting that's been sitting there for, I don't know, a few months, probably collecting dust. Again, there's some upcoming kits. There's some boxes that I have finished, but I don't want to break them, so I don't know what I'm doing with them yet. Except for the mummy, I haven't done that one yet. But that's sitting there. We got the cranky calendar up there. A little cork board here that sometimes I put my ideas on. A calendar for the glue bombers, the club builds that we got coming up. There's my idea for the zombie hunter that I'm thinking of doing with that Mustang. Dr. Cranky stickers, extreme scale detail business card, and that's it. Alright, I hope you guys like that. If you've got any questions, just let me know. I'll catch you later.